So there's this old Star Trek episode where the crew gets addicted to this augmented reality video game that hijacks the pleasure center of their brain and puts them under the mind control of this hostile alien race that takes over the ship. And I remember thinking as a kid, that's ridiculous. That could never happen. But then it did literally exactly happen. And not only did it happen, but I'm one of the victims. And not only am I one of the victims, but I'm actually an active participant and create content for the mind control device. And not only am I actively participating, but I'm receiving direct financial compensation for it.
Nice.
So I think that means that I'm a Star Trek bad guy. Anyway, here's some AI slop for you. Please like and subscribe. In this video, I tested VO3's ability, or in some cases, its complete and utter inability to transform or shapeshift one thing into another thing. All the prompts were suggested by you, the fans, and are included in the video so you can try all of these tests at home. So let's get into it. Up first, user Julius Gibberish wants to see a shapeshifter like Odo from DS9 that transforms into a variety of different people and inanimate objects and then back to its original shape. Julius provided us with the overall concept outline, so I fed this to Gemini and together we came up with this prompt. However, the first attempt was censored by Vio, and I had no idea why until I realized that Julius had asked for our shapeshifter to turn into a piece of doo-doo. Julius, you dirty, dirty, nasty boy, you. So I took the poop out of the prompt and I got this one instead. Our shapeshifter, Bob, should start and finish wearing a bright red shirt, and in between, transform into a large gray stone, and then back into Bob, and then a woman, and then back into Bob, and then a man in a blue shirt, and then back into Bob. I already knew that this would be way too many transformations for Vio, but you know what? Screw it. Let's see what happens. Yeah, too many transformations. Though the actual transformation effect is pretty close to what we asked for, I am a little bit upset about the puddle of questionable fluid on the floor in front of Bob. I think he got a little too excited about this prompt. So I went back to Gemini, and together we simplified the prompt quite a bit. No more inanimate objects, and now it's just Bob transforming into a middle-aged brunette woman, and then back to Bob, and then into a younger blonde woman, and then back to Bob. So only 4 transformations total. Let's see what happens. Oh, sweet Christ. Okay, Vio. Man, you were doing so good there for a second. All right, let's try to simplify this even more. This time there will only be 3 transformations. Bob to an Asian woman, and then to a young black male, and then back to Bob. Oh, come on. We were so close. Okay, let's try that prompt one more time because we're almost there. God damn it. Okay. All right. Well, one more attempt will simplify it even more. Now it's just Bob transforming into a young black male and then back to Bob. 2 transformations. That's it. Come on, Vio. You can do it. Let's go. Oh, come on. All right, well, we might be able to get there with brute force eventually, but I don't think we're going to come up with a clip funnier than this one, so let's just leave it here. What have we learned? Honestly, not much. I mean, all of the prompts had about the same amount of detail in them, but I really figured that Vio would be able to handle 2 transformations. And there's a lot of inconsistency as far as the quality of the transformations between clips, so I honestly have no idea what to take away from this one. But again, the prompts are all there, so feel free to go back and try them yourself. If you end up with a better result, throw it on YouTube and let me see the clip. Up next, user Helaman Guile offered up a deceptively simple suggestion of a Rubik's Cube solving itself in a 3D animation loop. Now, I'd be shocked if we can get Vio to solve a Rubik's Cube, much less do it in a seamless animation loop. So why don't we adjust our expectations downward just a little bit? All that I want is a Rubik's Cube that starts out unsolved and then finishes solved. After a little bit of back and forth with Gemini, we came up with this prompt of a Rubik's Cube floating in midair, solving itself, and explicitly specified that the final frame of the clip shows the cube completely solved. Let's give it a go. Man, okay, well, first off, the animation is rough. I guess to be fair, there probably isn't too much footage online of a Rubik's Cube solving itself, but there are definitely images of a solved Rubik's Cube out there. I don't think there's any excuse for it not at least finishing on a completed solved Rubik's Cube. Also, I don't know if you picked up on that, but as the cube spins horizontally, the colors on the visible faces of the cube change dramatically as it completes a full 360 rotation. So we don't even have internal clip coherence here. You know what? Maybe that one was a fluke. Let's run the exact same prompt one more time and see what we get. So this one was even worse because we actually see some squares changing color while on camera, and still no solved cube at the end. I went back to Gemini and described the problem, and after a little bit more back and forth, we decided to try and visually describe what a solved cube looks like. In the final frame, the cube is fully solved, each of its 6 faces showing a solid color. I ran this prompt twice, and these were the clips that it generated. Man, okay, same issues, still no solved Rubik's Cube, and the sound design was worse in these 2 clips. I went back to Gemini one more time and decided to simplify by describing the color and orientation of only the 3 finished sides for the final clip. 1 red, 1 white, and 1 blue. Ta-da! All right, well, I mean, it cheated at the end there a little bit, but I guess the goal here was to have a quote-unquote solved Rubik's Cube on the final frame. So I guess we win, kind of. Not really thrilled at the results of this one. I'll admit, I expected VO to fudge on showing a realistic solving process, but I did expect it to have an easier time with the animation at least. I would be curious to see how it handles showing a human being solve the cube instead of the cube solving itself. There is a ton of footage of Rubik's Cubes being solved by people on the internet. Maybe that would fix some of these problems. Something else to try out.
Hello there. Are you enjoying this video? Would you like to see more like it? Then please help me quit my job by becoming a member today. For just $1, you can get early access to my videos, and also this super sweet mustache emoji.
But wait! There's more!
Every single AI prompt I use to make my videos, including the thumbnails, written out so you can copy-paste to your heart's content. Thank you for your support. Now, back to the video.
Up next, user I Am the Underdog comes in with an excellent prompt suggestion. He would like to see a wee baby age and transform gradually into an old man. They also provided their own prompt, which officially makes them a cool cat and an official member of the Cool Cats Club. Let's try their prompt verbatim twice and see what we get.
Time doesn't pass, we do. It flows through us like wind through leaves, leaving behind only memories and moments.
Okay. So once again, we see that VO really struggles with transitioning smoothly from one thing to another within the same clip. When you attempt to combine 2 related elements, it cheats by making it a jump cut instead. I took this prompt to Gemini, and after some more back and forth, we came up with a more fleshed out version of the prompt. We added language to describe a smooth and gradual transformation process, as well as a description of the actual visual process of aging, with wrinkles forming and hair changing color, etc. We also added these sentences to really try and force VO to avoid cuts. Let's see what we get.
Time doesn't pass, we do. It flows through us like wind through leaves, leaving behind only memories and moments.
All right. I went back to Gemini and we added even more descriptive language related to aging and even more clarification to avoid cuts.
Time doesn't pass, we do. It flows through us like wind through leaves, leaving behind only memories and moments.
Well, we actually had something that kind of looked like a transformation there, so let's try that same one again.
Time doesn't pass, we do. It flows through us like wind through leaves, leaving behind only memories and moments.
Okay, well, I'm not sure what to try differently. I mean, with so many of these tests, I end up with the conclusion that the prompt isn't necessarily the issue, and that I would just have to brute force like 100 attempts before I get what I'm actually looking for. But that's boring, so we're not going to do that. If you want to take this prompt and run it 100 times, Let me know how many it takes for you to get a result that actually looks like what we're going for. Moving on. Up next, user Big Boy Co. provided me with 2 of their very own fully fleshed out prompts, which makes them another member of the Cool Cats Club. The first prompt features a dude in a grocery store with a shopping cart who transforms into an 80s action movie star driving a sports car, which is a pretty sweet idea. I thought it might be fun to run this prompt as it was originally written and also after passing it through Gemini to see which one turns out better. I'll play them in order from what I think to be worst to best, which just happens to mean that the Gemini clips get played first. Go figure. Yeah, not great. Now the original prompts as written by Big Boy Co. Yeah, I think the original prompts were way better, especially the last one. The music was cool, the action was goofy, but it was still pretty fun. And the Gemini prompts, by comparison, were just incomprehensible garbage. Pure AI slop. So the user prompt wins. Well done, sir. You are better at Gemini than writing prompts. But to be fair, the bar was extremely low. And now as a bonus clip, Big Boy Co. also provided a prompt featuring a Morpheus clone standing on a rooftop who is supposed to say, quote, "Free your mind, take the leap, or get left behind by AI." But that doesn't quite work out, as you'll see here.
Free your mind. Take the leap or get left behind by Al. Free your mind. Take the leap or get left behind by Al.
So I went back and confirmed both instances of AI were absolutely written with a capital I and not a lowercase l. So the fact that VO read it as Al twice is extremely weird, because that's the kind of mistake a human would make if it were reading the line off of a piece of paper, instead of a piece of software reading binary. Just to check, I went back and added periods after the A and the I and ran the prompt one more time.
Free your mind. Take the leap or get left behind by AI.
What have we learned? Well, apparently VO will sometimes read AI as Al, unless you add periods after the letters, which again is pretty fucking weird if you think about it. So I guess just don't think about it too hard. For our final suggestion, user Gonzo Press, yet another member of the Cool Cats Club, brings us a depiction of a mighty warrior on a battlefield going Super Saiyan. So what we're looking for here is an almost defeated warrior who transforms into a more powerful version of himself, with new armor, new hair, and glowing eyes. The camera is supposed to do a 360 rotation around him during the transformation, and then finish with a close-up shot of his face. The first 2 iterations I ran were the original prompt exactly as provided. Okay, well, in both cases, the 360 camera rotation was completely ignored, but it did zoom in on his face. So I'm guessing VO gets confused with multiple or conflicting camera instructions. He also didn't really get any new armor in either instance. The armor is basically exactly the same. I had Gemini improve the prompt, and both versions were pretty terrible, as you'll see. Okay, then. Yeah, no, the originals were definitely better, and we still don't have any armor change. I guess at least in this one, the hair color shifted, so we're 1 for 3. I decided just for shits and giggles to run the original prompt one more time, and I'm really glad I did. Friggin' sweet, man. So we get the new armor, and a sweet new anime hairdo, and the glowing eyes. Still no adherence to camera direction whatsoever, but you know what? VO's had a long day. At this point, it's probably just tired. It's fine. And again, guys, I trained Gemini to write these prompts based on a 28-page PDF on best practices for generating video prompts. And Gemini is made by the same company that makes VO, so if anything should be able to make prompts for this stupid thing, it is Gemini. And yet, it cannot. Anyway, gang, that's all I have for today. A shout out to the new members of the channel who signed up since my last video. Much appreciated to all of you. I am one step closer to being able to quit my job and make stupid videos like this full time, and it's all thanks to you. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, then please consider becoming a member. It costs $1, and for that you get a bunch of super sweet perks. And if not that, then please consider sharing this video with someone that you think might enjoy it. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see y'all next time.